Jodie made us some V-shots.
Actually, Ed, you made the your own Bloody Mary mix.
Yes.
And then I just kind of mixed it with some delicious vodka.
So we've got our V-shots, and then we're gonna make a shrimp boil. At the end of the first season, I don't know if you remember, but Arlene has a wedding, and Marlotte throws a big shrimp boil. Inspired by our love of science fiction, we're cooking up sci-fi food that looks authentic and tastes delicious. This is Sci-Fine Dining.
To warn you guys, I don't do V with just everybody. So it might get crazy in here. Oh my god, that's really good. I can see why people get hooked on it. Excuse me.
So the first thing we need to do is quarter an onion.
That's all you.
Okay.
Yes, Jodie can take care of that.
Good luck.
I'm taking out the knife here.
And while she is doing that, we should shuck some corn.
Oh yes, let us shuck. Is there a proper way to shuck corn?
I don't think so. I mean,
Because I've always just kind of yanked it off.
as far as I'm aware, you yank it off and you just make sure that you get all that
I am
silk
not
off.
touching that with a 10-foot pole.
Well, I'm glad you're cutting the onions because I'm well into my V now at this point, so I would hack off something other than the onions. Aw, shucks. How long was it until I was going to say that, right?
You did
yeah,
not.
I did. It's the
terrible.
V. I can blame it on the V.
And by V, you mean vodka.
Vampire blood. There was vodka in that? What the hell?
So, okay, the big question out there is True Blood really sci-fi?
Yeah, we were talking about this earlier.
I think the term sci-fi has broadened as the geek culture has become mainstream. And I think whatever you want to call it, if you want to call it supernatural fiction, if you want to call it sci-fi, if you want to call it fantasy, who cares?
It seems like what a lot of people call this genre is urban fantasy.
Urban fantasy.
I kind of consider it sci-fi. The reason I feel like it's slightly sci-fi is that they've introduced this thing that doesn't exist in our world, which is True Blood, so now vampires can actually be part of the world.
Well, they're dealing in a future of our world.
Yeah, I mean, it's not far in the future, but it's technically something has happened that has not happened in our world yet. Also, good sci-fi, it's always a commentary on our times.
Like, kind of like parallel the gay rights, gay civil rights movements, and
They're out. Everyone's out.
We bring up the whole sci-fi versus fantasy thing for a reason. You're associated with ElfQuest, obviously. You shot the ElfQuest fan trailer.
With you guys helping.
I was fortunate to
That
cook
was
for you.
3 magical days in the woods. So, and since then we have gone on. Paula Rhodes and I, my producing partner, we have optioned the film and TV rights to that 35-year-old franchise, celebrating 35 years this year, and we have a big panel at Comic-Con this year. ElfQuest is an invited guest, so we're very excited.
Are you going as Winnowill and Nightfall?
We shall see. At last. Actually, Paula and I just redonned our costumes for a shoot with Cupcake Quarterly, so that was very interesting to see how a 2-year-old costume went back on. She claims she did a lot of crunches. I don't believe her. She's like this all the time.
all the time.
All the
Yes.
time. This is just like water and onions and corn and seasoning that's going in.
That's all that's there.
That's
right now.
awesome.
Yeah. Actually, I'm going to add a few bay leaves to it as well, which I have right back here. I love a
I
nice
see.
little OXO
That's cool.
Tupperware containers. It basically, we're making a broth, but we're making a broth as we cook everything in the broth. And the next thing that I'm going to do is I am going to add the potatoes.
So far, other than the corn cutting, this seems really easy.
For the most
So
part, this
far,
is easy, and we just got to bring this to a boil and let this cook for about 15 minutes, and then we're going to add the corn. And then eventually we'll add andouille sausage and shrimp, and that's pretty much a shrimp boil.
Yum.
I actually read that Vampire Bill, wife of Anna Paquin.
Husband of Anna Paquin.
Oh, no.
Husband of
Wife.
Anna
No wife.
Nice.
The V.
He's actually directing the first episode, which is
that's
interesting
right.
because he's like covered in blood. So I don't know how well he's going to be directing from
That
under all
must be an
blood.
interesting. So I mean, you're covered in blood and you're probably completely naked, and then you you yell action, and then you yell cut, and you run back to check the.
Oh, see, look, sausages.
Indeed.
And what would an episode of True Blood be without a lot of sausages?
Well, when I was watching the commentary for the very first episode of the pilot, the director told Anna Paquin when Bill Compton says your name, Suke, feel it in your vagina.
And
Wow.
now they're happily married with a child.
Okay.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, so I am gonna have you add your corn.
Okay.
Be careful, don't hurt yourself.
This is where things could go horribly wrong with boiling, splashing water.
There we
okay.
go.
Bravo.
A bit more?
Yep. Throw it all in
Okay.
there.
My turn? Ta-da.
Yep, and throw your 2 lemon wedges in there. There we go. And we'll let this cook for about 7 more minutes, and then we're gonna have to add that sausage, so if you could get chopping. So while True Blood is kind of fantasy masquerading sci-fi, we kind of think that ElfQuest is kind of the opposite. It's kind of, if you know the books really well, it's kind of sci-fi masquerading as fantasy, because like the origin story of the elves actually come from space, where they're like humans are still cavemen, and
Well, it all takes place on a different
Different
world.
planet, yeah.
So we're already on a different planet, which is already sci-fi.
exactly, because there's 2 moons, right?
Right.
Yeah, I forgot about that. That's terrible.
the land of, as the humans say, 2 moons.
Yeah, you picked one of the main character's daughters to wear.
Yes, this t-shirt that comes from We Love Fine, who is doing a line of ElfQuest t-shirts. This is the tribe's leader's daughter, and she grows up to become head of a tribe herself, named Ember, and she was one of the female characters that as a kid and teenager I really looked up to.
I really like the Ember character. I thought they did a good job of that, because she started as kind of a tomboy, but I don't know, this is gonna sound weird, but she found herself as a woman later, like.
Totally, that doesn't sound weird to me at all. Like, as a kid and as a teenager, we didn't have a lot of female characters that were tomboys when I was growing up. So to see someone who was going to be the chieftain and the leader be a tomboy and then blossom into womanhood, that's weirder than what you said. So, there you go.
I think it is time to add the sausage. They don't need a lot of time to cook.
Like,
Getting done with that?
I'm gonna let the
Yeah.
person with the
Yes.
thing open that. Yeah.
He knows what he's doing.
No.
All right. More hot water and splashing. Let's see.
And the andouille sausage doesn't need to cook very long, so we're just gonna leave the andouille sausage in there for about 3 minutes or so. Okay.
It does grow on you.
Yeah, it does.
So it's time to finish this off. I'm gonna go ahead and add the shrimp.
This is one of my favorite things to watch, like the shrimp going pink. I find that like really sci-fi and
This is a very Cajun dish. We can talk about it as a sci-fi thing. It's probably just true in general of every show, though, how important place and location.
I think True Blood has done an exceptional job of making Louisiana a character into itself.
Oh, it definitely
You know,
is.
like
Between
the vibe and the sensibility and all of it really plays together.
my question was always, it's lighter there. Why don't they live up in like Alaska?
My question is like, why don't you all just leave? There are vampires and werewolves everywhere. Just get out.
Well,
Then you would miss some of the
I know.
werewolves and some of Eric Northam's, like, what were you
Hippo?
saying?
Is
Yeah.
that-
Which is the other reason that we all watch True Blood, right?
Little bit.
Because of the gore.
The
Yeah,
gore.
the
It's
gore?
because of the gore.
That's what I thought.
That's it.
Not the boobies.
I am not satisfied unless I get my splash of blood in a main character's face, which was why I was kind of hesitant on coming on the show.
We thought we were gonna splash blood on you.
Who knows?
The thing is, we're gonna make you strip naked first and then splash blood on you.
No one
That's the
wants to
plan.
see that.
Wow.
But I would have been willing.
Good to know for next time.
See, that would get the views.
well,
I think we're ready to have a shrimp boil.
Ooh, awesome.
This is the way they would eat it in Louisiana, is they would just lay down newspaper on a picnic table and have at. But I gotta drain this puppy first.
you drain that. I might drain a little bit of this. No.
This
Well, it
became my
doesn't-
favorite episode just now.
Beautiful.
Well done.
Oh!
That was a
We only lost
quality
one corn.
There we go.
From
Just
here?
dig in. Use your hands, dip in the butter.
All right, it looks hot. I'm gonna use a fork.
and I'm
yeah,
gonna use a
yeah,
fork.
yeah. This will not be delicate, dainty eating
Oh.
we're doing here.
And actually,
Expletive is delicious.
maybe I
Delicious.
just added sausage. And actually, you can do this too if you want to just sprinkle a little bit of the actual Cajun seasoning on here at the end.
Nice.
That is delicious
Here,
as well. It gets a good.
sprinkle
There we
little
go.
perfect and
All right, I'm trying the shrimp here.
harvest roll done. So you want your butter? Stephanie, thank you so much for coming
Oh,
on.
it was a pleasure to be here. It was a gory gourmet feast and has given me proof positive that I don't need any kind of dishware. Just dump it on the counter.
If you have any questions about anything that we did here today, it'll all be on the website. You can make a shrimp boil, you can make our V shots, and there are plenty of other recipes there too.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Cool. Keep rolling. Just do one more of the wrap up.
I will. Let me.
It's really hot.
I just realized I hope I don't get any.
Oh, we hope we're still rolling on that, right?
Reaction from the.
Outtakes.
Oh God, I hope you're okay.
Outtakes. This is
If
really,
I go
really
into
good.
anaphylactic shock. Just Sean Becker. will-
I've told everyone I'm terribly allergic to shrimp, right?
Still speeding again, assistant.
That would be horrifying, right? On a scale of 1 to 10,
Good
horrifying.
entertainment.
Yeah.
I really want to eat this.
And in
corn, but-
true blood fashion.